Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Adamson, aka here on YouTube as Rose Tires, and today I'm going to be talking about kind of a major thing that's happening in the car scene right now. A couple other automotive YouTubers have already covered this, but I think it's only right that I chime in as well. I tend to kind of keep my political side of things outside of YouTube because really, in my opinion, or just social media in general, I don't think that social media is the right place to post about politics. I think politics as a topic is just too divisive. People just can't handle other opinions nowadays, and regardless of whose side you're on, I mean, I have my own views, everyone has their own views, and I think that's how it should be, is that we shouldn't care what other people think. But I don't want to get on my high horse on that because that's not what today's video is about, but it is about a political issue going on currently, and that is the EPA trying to restrict cars, production cars in particular, from being turned into private built race cars. Now the reason this is a big deal is obviously they're targeting aftermarket companies. People that make tuners, superchargers, and exhaust systems are their actual top priority here. So companies like Magnaflow, Corsa, Megan Racing, and Tomei, and all these other major exhaust manufacturers, as well as companies like ProCharger, Whipple, Garrett, and all sorts of other companies, CX Racing, others, who build forced induction kits for cars. Companies like Derive, who produce our SCTX4s, COP with their access port, and the Burger Tuning with the JB4, and all that stuff are all going to be kind of taking a massive hit if the EPA has their way here. Which is kind of a huge deal for us as car enthusiasts as a whole. For those who don't know, I was diagnosed with Asperger's at a very young age, and cars have always been an integral part of my life. And when it comes to having Asperger's, everyone kind of has a fixation or obsession, and cars have always been mine. I've always been into cars. I've been around cars my entire life, like I said. I think this mere channel alone kind of shows that. But at the end of the day, the EPA is trying to shut all this down. Obviously they have the best interests in mind. They're trying to conserve the earth and all that stuff, but at the same time, this is our hobby, this is our life, because cars for us as enthusiasts are more than just a form of transportation. They are a way of life. They're society for us. This is what we do all the time. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 a year. Car enthusiasts live and breathe cars. It's what we do. And for me, it's always been kind of a huge part of life, and this is a huge deal for us. So currently there is a petition online. You can go through SEMA's website to do this, to sign what's called the RPM Act, which is the, I believe it is the, I can't remember what the R stood for, but it's about protecting motor cars, or to motorsport vehicles. So it pretty much is just telling, Congress, hey, this is a very big industry in the United States, aftermarket parts, and exhaust systems and tuners and all that stuff, and how it doesn't violate the CAA, the Clean Air Act. And the point of it is to kind of keep our hobby alive, because here's what technically would happen if the EPA were to have their way here. Privateer race teams, you got small companies like I believe one of them that I've started following recently is Pink Ribbon Racing, which is a non-profit kind of breast cancer awareness racing team. For those who don't know, breast cancer is a huge part of my family, and I support all sorts of different causes that support breast cancer awareness. So obviously I'm going to be a big fan of Pink Ribbon Racing forever now, knowing their values and stuff like that, what they support. Private race teams like this, who bought an A90 Supra Mark V and turned into their own private race car, obviously they're going to lose that, and the only way we'll be able to partake in stuff like Grid Life Time Attack, or even our test and tune Saturday night events at drag strips, we're going to have to buy purpose-built cars for that, and have to go through tons of red tape to get this to happen. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure the strong majority of automotive enthusiasts in the world can't afford to buy a purpose-built race car. I don't think any of us can afford something like, the former 458 Challenge or Copo Camaros and stuff like that. I don't think really any of us have that kind of money to go out and do that. And, it's a huge thing for all of us as enthusiasts to be able to protect our hobby and do what we love. Lots of private race teams, our Pink Ribbon Racing of the world, our smaller teams that partake in autocross and all those major events. Adam LZ, for example, has his kind of like his own race team, and this would be completely against the law if the EPA were to have their way. Even though the car is completely built for racing and it's been specially designed, it's been specially built, it would still be considered against the law. And for people like us, everyday car enthusiasts, we go out and we put exhaust in our cars all the time. I think that's kind of the rite of passage to being a car enthusiast, is being able to put an exhaust in your car and enjoy it. And if the EPA had their way, all of us would be breaking the law, and we'd all be in huge trouble. Myself, I mean, this truck here has a full exhaust on it with headers, the whole 9 yards. It is fully built, and when it comes to an exhaust system, and it would be completely illegal if the EPA had their way. And huge aftermarket companies, you know, we have, like I mentioned earlier, all these companies. We got Tomei and Magnaflow, Corsa, Borla. I mean, all these giant exhaust companies, big and small exhaust companies, would be forced to shut down. And obviously it's a lot of jobs lost. That's a lot of income and revenue going into whatever countries that they originate from. You know, that's revenue lost. So really, their pursuit of, you know, trying to shut all this down because of the CAA is also going to harm a lot of people in the process. For a majority of us car enthusiasts, you know, our cars and our events we go to, our motorsports, regardless of what you're into, when it comes to cars, whether you're a show guy, a track guy, a drag car guy, a truck guy even, you know, this is our way of life. This is what we do. This is what we use to escape real life. For a lot of us, we have a lot of stress from school and work and otherwise, and cars are kind of our escape. And the RPM Act is kind of helping us out here and trying to save us from having to lose the main hobby we love. And I think that's a huge thing. And for people like me, people like you who are all into cars, you know, losing aftermarket manufacturers such as Tomei and others, as well as JB4s, you know, Burger Tuning, all those companies Derive, and Cobb, and all these major companies that help us do what we love, would be detrimental to all of us. I think all of us would be forced to kind of look for a new hobby if this were to happen, because all of this is a huge part of car culture. You know, tuning, exhaust, forced induction. I mean, all this is huge. And if the EPA has their way and shuts all of this down, this could be the end of car culture as we know it in the United States. And as multiple other YouTubers have pointed out, Evan Shanks pointed this out on Instagram just yesterday, I believe. I'm filming this on Saturday. The thing is that if that happened here, if the EPA had their way here, this will not be just the United States. This will be other countries. Canada and Mexico and, you know, all the other countries in Europe could follow suit, and then everyone's got a problem. So at the end of the day, if you guys want to support the RPM Act, as I am, and as many other automotive YouTubers are doing, go check out SEMA.org. They also they have a link directly to fill out the petition for the RPM Act. So if you guys want to go ahead and do that, it would be greatly appreciated by all of us to keep this hobby alive. This is a huge part of us. Cars are more than just A to B transportation for us. Cars are a way of life, and it's our kind of goal here, you know, to support the RPM Act so that our hobby can stay alive. The EPA tries to do this every couple of years, it seems like, and it never works for them, and I don't know why they even bother at this point personally. But this is kind of, you know, our last stand to show the EPA that, you know, our race cars are off limits. Those are the exact words SEMA used, and they're the words I'm going to use. You know, cars are our hobby, it's our life, they're off limits. You know, this is kind of our thing. And taking it away from us could be detrimental to the economy, to just people in general. Even if, you know, car enthusiasts as a whole are a small demographic in the global population, there's still a lot of us, and it's a huge lucrative industry right now, and it's growing more and more as you just go on with new stuff, new fads in the car scene. We got wide bodies and stance and all that stuff, you know, a couple years ago, and, you know, all the stuff that's going on now in the car scene. I mean, this is huge for us. This is a big deal for us. So I think that my call to action for you guys is just to go fill out that petition, join me and the other automotive enthusiasts who have taken part in this, and try to keep our hobby alive. Because if we lose this, this could be everything for all of us. This could be the end of car culture as a whole. This could be the end of multiple YouTube channels and multiple race teams that were private. So I mean, if not all private race teams. So I mean, this is huge. So that's my thing. That's my rant of the day. Hope you all enjoyed me kind of talking about this. And at the end of the day, you know, this is up to you whether you want to support this or not. But I think for automotive enthusiasts like us, we need to have each other's backs here, and we need to kind of, you know, shoot all this down so we can still have our hobby at the end of the day. All right, take care, guys. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys next time. But hopefully a new episode on this guy getting fixed up, because we still got a lot of work to do. I've got an entire new ignition system for it sitting in my room. And hopefully we'll get started on that soon, and we'll have this up and running in another video. Take care, guys.